Hello, everybody out there in podcast world and podcast land. Welcome to the T2 Podcast with your boy Justin J. Will, whatever you want to call me. Hope you guys are doing well out there, man. Hope you had a good weekend, all that good stuff. Good work week so far. If you haven't started your work week, maybe you're anticipating it. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you're somewhere in Italy. Maybe you're somewhere in Sicily. I don't know. Glad that you decided to be here, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, so I appreciate it. So, I had a good weekend. Really didn't do much, to be honest. Didn't do anything. So, a lot of R&R, a lot of rest and relaxation. Kind of like the previous weekend. So, no complaints from me. But I'm doing well, man. So, I am very thankful for that. Thank God for that. So, today, I don't really have a lot to talk about. I'm going to get into the NBA playoffs a little bit, give you guys my initial reactions from the game ones. And as I record this, got a couple game twos going on tonight. The Heat taking on the Sixers, which last time I checked, I think they were actually leading. And the Spurs and the Warriors play tonight. So, get into that and probably get into the Dez Bryant release. So my prediction was right on Friday that he would get released, and that's what happened. So I give you guys my reaction on that. But first of all, man, I want to start off like this. So, in the age of social media, man, I think we can say that we are definitely in the peak years. We're witnessing the apex of the social media movement, basically, right? I mean, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, WhatsApp, Tumblr. I mean, you name it, right? We have a whole bunch of ways to be social with people on the internet. We have a whole bunch of ways. We have a whole bunch of platforms. We have a whole bunch of apps that we can download, YouTube. We are definitely in the glory years of social media. So, in saying that, I think I mentioned this before, but, it's a gift and a curse. Okay? So, it's definitely a gift because now, as long as you have your phone, you're basically a walking news reporter. Okay? You see what's going on with Starbucks, right? Which I will say that I will not be buying anything from Starbucks anymore. I will not buy any of those mocha frappuccinos, even though they are so good. Man, they are really good. I love those things. I will not buy any more of those from Starbucks. I'm not doing anything from Starbucks. Point blank, period. I'm giving them the Papa John's treatment. Okay? Ever since the CEO came out with that little statement against the NFL players, I have not bought one Papa John's pizza, and I will never buy another Papa John's anything. Matter of fact, I don't even, unless I'm starving to death, I don't plan on ever eating it. Like, even if somebody else buys it, I will not eat it. But you see what's going on in Philadelphia, right? With the whole Starbucks thing. Somebody whipped up their phone and they caught the arrest or whatever, those two black guys. That they caught the whole situation on camera. And they were able to upload it to Facebook or upload it to YouTube or wherever they sent it to. So as long as you got your phone, you are basically a rolling news reporter. It comes in handy if you're trying to promote a business. You are able to reach out to people worldwide now. You feel me? Like, you don't have to pay for a bunch of ads in a newspaper or you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to risk a lot. You don't have to be out of a lot of money to reach a lot of people. You feel me? You just got to have a phone. If you can record yourself, if you can tweet, You can tweet about your business. You can Facebook about your business. You can Facebook about your school or whatever you got going on. As long as you have that platform, as long as you got an internet connection, basically, you can reach the world. Okay, so that's definitely a positive. You feel me? So along with that, it definitely has its drawbacks. Okay, you definitely have some negatives, and I definitely saw one over the weekend. Or was it like last week? Probably more last week. So, okay, I guess there are a lot of proms going on, right? We're getting into prom season. We're getting into graduation season. Shout out to anybody who's listening to this that's graduating. Congratulations. High school diploma, a bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorates, whatever you got going on. Hey, congratulations. So we're getting into the heart of prom season. So you already know what that means. That means that you're going to have a lot of these teenagers posting their pictures and, posting videos, things of that nature. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, cool. Be a kid, man. Enjoy yourself. Get fresh, get dead fresh. Do your thing, man. You want to hop in some Gucci. What Future said, man, some Gucci flip-flops. I mean, you go right ahead. Gucci slippers, whatever. Hey, you do your thing, man. Be young. Nothing wrong with that. Be young. Enjoy yourself. You'll forever cherish those memories. Do your thing. So I saw on Facebook, apparently there was this young lady. I don't know where she's from. I didn't do my research. I'm sorry. I'm a bad podcast. I didn't really do any in-depth research. I didn't do any research at all. I just remember what I saw. And this girl literally put herself in a casket. Yes, she was in a casket. She bought out a casket for her prom entrance. So I guess she was supposed to be like dead fresh or something. Like Young Jock said, man, dead fresh, like I hopped up out of casket. I guess that's the wave that she was going for. That's the feeling that she was trying to get, I guess. Dead fresh, basically. Man. Man, I don't know what to think about these kids these days, man. I remember there was a show called My Sweet 16. Maybe you guys remember it, maybe you don't. There was a show called My Sweet 16. Well, it was either My Sweet 16 or My Super Sweet 16. Regardless, whatever it was, whatever the exact name of it was. You would have these kids, right? These little 16-year-olds, and they would basically be they would be like either kids of a celebrity, like a producer, a famous movie star, or a famous rapper, or something like that, or they would be superstars themselves. You feel me? Like they would be kid superstars or whatever, or they would just flat out be rich. And MTV would follow them around for their party, right? From the, them hiring somebody to decorate it, coming up with an idea, to actually having a party. It was actually a pretty good show. It was very entertaining. Okay, so on that show, they would actually like come in on camels. They would come in on like helicopters, planes, horses, Lamborghinis. Like they would definitely, they definitely had some extravagant interests. Okay, and they're rich. Okay, so they, money's not a thing to them. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. Whatever happened to that? Okay, I don't remember seeing anybody enter into their own party in a coffin. Okay, man, maybe I just sound like maybe I sound like get off my lawn guy here. You know, I got my shorts on and I got my slippers on, or my sandals on, and I got my hat on, and you know, my t-shirt on. Hey kids, get out the yard. Get out my yard. What are you talking about? Maybe I sound like that guy here. But I just feel like you just could have did it another way, man. You know, there are other ways to make a splash, man. You know, there are definitely other ways that you can make a splash. There are other ways that you can get a lot of views on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, than hopping in a casket, man. Me, man, I just feel like there are certain things you just don't play around with, man. You just don't play around with death. You just don't play around with that, man. I don't know, man. But do you guys feel like maybe I'm being a little too harsh here? Maybe, you know, man, I'm not young enough, or maybe I'm not cool enough or hip enough. I know they don't say hip no more, but I'm just saying, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just not with it. Maybe I'm not, you know, qualified to speak on it. But I just feel like, man, there are so many people out here taking losses, bro. Like, it's people out here really taking losses, man. Like, I live in St. Louis, man. Like, I mean, they'll tell you point blank, period. I think St. Louis has been like the most dangerous city, and like, it's been the most dangerous city for like 5 years straight or something. Like, I mean, it's people out here really taking losses for real. It's people out here losing brothers and sisters and cousins and mothers and fathers, nieces, nephews, friends. They are losing people for real. They gotta look at their loved ones in a casket for real. And I feel like, damn, you pretty much making a mockery of it. You basically making a mockery of death. Like, it's just certain things I just wouldn't play around with, man. That's one of them. I don't play around like that. I wouldn't play around like that. Whoever's guiding her, they need to look at themselves in the mirror. Whoever let her get away with that, whether it's her mother, her father, whatever, they need to look themselves in the mirror, man. It's just certain things you just don't play around with, man. I mean, I think anybody can agree with me here, man. I mean, to be honest, bro, like one of the hardest parts of my life was having to look at my grandmother in a casket. You feel me? And I love my grandmama to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still get kind of teary-eyed just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? That she ain't here. It's been 13 years. It's one of the hardest moments of my life, having to look at the casket and see my grandmother dead. Knowing that you will never get that person back. They'll never be able to see you go on in life. None of that. Like, that's one of the hardest things to get through. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that, man. I mean, you know, think about it, man. The people that you love, the people that you had to bury, the people you had to put away, man, you had to look at them in a casket, man. Just know that you will never be able to get them back. And they're playing with that, man. But that's the environment that we live in. That's the environment that we live in, man. Kids, people, period. It ain't just kids. Grown people, too. They'll do anything for attention, man. They will walk in a store and steal powdered donuts. They'll run in the store naked, man, and steal powdered donuts, you know, and run out that mud just to get some views on YouTube. They don't mind that, man. They will do fake drive-bys for views. They will run up and they will slap old people for views. They will do whatever it takes for views. In this instance, man, I just felt like the person could have went about it another way, man, because there's way too much death going on. And that's way too real, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself that close to that situation, man, it might end up happening to you, or it might end up happening to somebody around that person. You feel me? So, me personally, man, I just went. I mean, you could have went a different route, man, but that's the environment that we live in, man, with social media. They just want to be seen. They'll do whatever it takes, man. They don't care. I'm telling y'all, man, that the next step is going to be somebody going to look at her in the casket. Oh, okay, she want to get in the casket. Okay. Alright. Y'all watch this. About to give me a shovel. Okay? Get them shovels out and dig a grave. Okay? Dig a hole. Okay? Whatever. And put me in it. I'm going to bury myself alive. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be some crazy stuff like that, man. I'm telling y'all watch and see, man. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy. Look here. Somebody's going to look at that and say, oh, she want to put herself in a casket. Okay, well, goddamn, I'm going to put myself in an actual grave. Like, that's just the environment that we're in now, man, with these kids, man, and just people in general. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I really like to know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment on the episode or whatever, man. And tell me what you guys think, man. Am I being a little too get out of my yard, old man, or am I right? Me personally, I feel like I'm right, because there's just certain things you don't play around with, man. So that's my little rant for the day. So I'll leave it alone, man. But seriously, I really want to know what you guys think. So yep, do that. So moving right along. So let's hop into these NBA games, man. It happened over the weekend. So a few takeaways. Let's see here. So the Spurs lost to the Warriors 113-92. The Warriors look sharp, man. Like I said, man, if Kawhi was actually playing, which that's a whole nother story, which I'll probably get into after I finish this thought. If Kawhi was playing, I definitely picked the Spurs to win, but without Kawhi, it's just not happening. Okay, and I think we forget how good the Warriors really are, man. The Warriors are really good. Okay, even though they don't have Steph, you still got KD. He's an MVP candidate. An MVP. He won the MVP a couple seasons ago or whatever. He's an elite player. He's a superstar. You got Draymond Green. He does his thing on both ends of the court. You got some perimeter shooting. You got Klay Thompson. Still got Klay Thompson, who a lot of people forget about him. He's a splash brother with him and Steph. Klay Thompson will light your ass up. You feel me? Mess around and go, 30 points in one quarter type deal. So he's still there, and he's still contributing. He's still a great defensive player. So, the Warriors just put their stamp on it, man. Just let you know, like, hey, we still here. Now, as far as this whole Kawhi thing, man. Now, Kawhi isn't even, like, on the bench. So that's kind of alarming. Like, a lot of people have been talking about that. Like, damn, he isn't even with the team. This is the playoffs here. You feel me? Like, it's one thing if you're not there in the regular season, like you're not on the bench or whatever in the regular season. But this is the playoffs. Okay? We talking about all the marbles here. We're trying to win a championship. So it's been a lot of speculation about Kawhi, man, whether he's going to stay. Whether the Spurs will trade him. I've seen plenty of posts. You know how it is, man. That's the internet. You're going to end up with a whole bunch of Photoshop images of Kawhi in Boston, LA, whatever. But I don't know, man. My stance has always been with Kawhi, man. With this, with this injury or whatever. I can't get in the guy's body, and I can't find out how he really feels. At the end of the day, only he knows that. And I read an article on Bleacher Report today. It was a very good article. And it basically was just outlining, like, damn, like, Kawhi Leonard is actually... You can't blame Kawhi Leonard for exercising his muscle. You can't blame him for flexing his muscle a little bit. Okay? He's a superstar. We all know that. We know that he's a champion. We know that he's one of the top 5, top 10 players in the game. He's one of the top 5, top 10 players in the game. So you can't blame him for flexing his muscle a little bit. Especially after seeing what happened with Isaiah Thomas, which, to be honest, I don't like Isaiah Thomas. I'm gonna be truthfully honest with you. I'm gonna be all the way real with you, man. All the way 1,000 with you. His whole little personality, man, that little cocky personality that he had or that he has, being such a small guy. I guess, hey, you got the chip on your shoulder. Everybody has doubted you for a while, but I don't know. He just threw me off with his attitude, man. So it's part of me that kind of, I know I'm gonna sound like a hater here, but it's part of me that kind of thinks that he got what he deserved. Be humble, man. Be humble. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. So, that's a whole nother story though with Isaiah Thomas. But yeah, he saw what happened with Isaiah Thomas, and basically what happened was, according to the article, was that Isaiah Thomas, he had that little hip injury or whatever, and the Celtics doctors checked him out and said, "Hey, yeah, you'll be okay." And come to find out, no, he wasn't okay. He re-injured it. So I can see Kawhi saying, "Okay, yeah, I just seen this movie before." Because at the end of the day, I've heard a lot of NFL players say this on TV that, those team doctors, they want to get you out on the court. They want to get you out on the field. Okay, they want to get you out there. Like, they are doing what's best for the team. Okay, not necessarily what's best for you. They're doing what's best for the team. And if they want you out there, or if they're getting pressure from the coaches or pressure from the organization, then they're gonna clear you. So they want to get you out there. They work for the team. You hire an independent doctor, you go see independent doctors or whatever. They work for you. Okay, you're paying them directly. The team isn't paying them. You're paying them. So one could surmise that they have your best interest more than the team doctors do. So, I can definitely see Kawhi saying that, man, and he just doesn't want to go out there until he feels like he's ready. But as far as where he'll be, man, I don't know. The Spurs are, you see a lot of comparisons between the Spurs and the Patriots. Rightfully so. They kind of mirror each other a little bit. Man, if you're not with Pop, if you're not with the Spurs way, if you're not about team basketball, if they feel like you're being selfish or whatever, they can get rid of you. Point blank, period. They'll get rid of you. Like the Patriots. The Patriots never cared about getting rid of players. Now, granted, the NBA has guaranteed contracts, and the NFL, they don't have, like, everybody's contract isn't guaranteed. Okay. In the NBA, all contracts are guaranteed. So, I guess Kawhi kind of has a little more wiggle room, needless to say, because his contract's guaranteed. So, yeah, you can release me. Yeah, you can trade me. But regardless, I'm going to get paid. So, it don't matter. So, I can't take my time. I don't know, man. Will they get it fixed? Will cooler heads prevail? I don't know, man. I don't know. I got a feeling that Greg Popovich is really ticked off that Kawhi hasn't shown up, which a lot of players, I'm pretty sure on the team, that they're very ticked off that he hasn't shown up. But at the end of the day, man, I can't blame a person, bro, because we can't get inside his mind. We can't get inside his body and determine if he's really hurt. It's like, man, if you call up to your job and you decide to take a day off, or you decide to take a day off, is your head hurting? How would you feel if somebody got mad at you for doing that? It's like, dude or girl, like, you can't. How the hell you gonna tell me what's wrong with me? How you gonna tell me what's wrong? How you gonna tell me that my head not hurt? You don't know. You're not in my body. You don't know what I went through last night. I could have went through something traumatic, or I'm just not telling anybody, hey, my head hurts, I can't come to work. That's it. So, but yeah, man, I don't really get a Spurs any chance in that series. So, Spurs, I guess maybe they'll win. They may win one or two, to be honest. They'll probably win one. They'll get one. But Warriors should make quick work of the Spurs. But shout out to Kawhi, man. I love Kawhi, man. He's a great player. I love the fact that he's a two-way player. He's like the last of a dying breed as far as two-way players. So, one of my favorite players, like his demeanor or lack thereof, I guess. To be honest, I really wouldn't know. I don't know how Kawhi Leonard sounds. I can't say that I've ever heard him speak. But I would imagine that his voice is very deep. Very deep, very just quiet. The quiet guy. Quiet guy with a deep voice. But shout out to Kawhi, man. We'll see what happens with him and the Spurs this offseason. But yeah, the Warriors flex that muscle and they'll continue flexing that muscle. Wizards, Raptors, I want to talk about that. 76ers, Heat. Ben Simmons showing you guys what he's about. I think Ben Simmons got next up, man. Ben Simmons is going to be the next, like, big superstar. You feel me? Like, he's going to be that guy. He's going to be that next superstar, man. So, they beat the Heat 130-103. And, like I mentioned earlier, I think the Heat are actually beating them right now. So, I don't have the score pulled up in front of me. So, maybe by the time this comes out, maybe the series will be tied 1-1. Pelicans, Trailblazers, really didn't see a lot of that. But Anthony Davis had 35 points, 14 rebounds, had 2 steals. Anthony Davis is a beast, man. I think Anthony Davis, man, with him and Rondo, I think they should be able to beat the Trailblazers, man. I know the Trailblazers, they got CJ McCollum, and they got Dame Lillard. I understand that, but, AD, man, Anthony Davis, he's supposed to be, like, upper echelon. He's, like, in that LeBron James mode, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we think of Anthony Davis, we think of that type of talent. You should be able to will your team past these guys. So, he needs to show up, man. He showed up last night. He needs to show up and he needs to stay healthy. Even without DeMarcus Cousins. We know that the Pelicans are not going to make it far. Of course not. Of course. They're not going to make it far. But he should be leading the way for sure. Him and Rondo doing their thing, man. If you're in that superstar mode, man, you should be able to lead your team past the first round of the playoffs. Now, to get past the Rockets, to get past the Warriors of the world, to get past those types of teams, of course, you're going to need help. Yeah, you're going to need a DeMarcus Cousins. But you should be able to get past the first round. So they're well on their way to doing this. So, beat the Trailblazers 97-95. Bucks and the Celtics. Didn't really see much of that. The Cavs and the Pacers, man. So, the Pacers pretty much took their belt off and whooped the Cavs, man. So, the first time that LeBron James has lost the first game, a game 1 in the playoffs, his entire career. So, yeah. There's definitely a cause to pause here. Now, Victor Oladipo did his thing, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, had 4 steals. I think Victor Oladipo actually led the league in steals, man. As far as like average, I guess. Now, with the Cavs, man, I'm going to tell you this. Now, the Cavs are going to win this series, point blank period. They're going to win. And me personally, I think the Cavs are going to end up going to the finals. But one thing this game really did put into play for me, or really did kind of emphasize, the Cavs ain't beating the Warriors. Okay? They're not beating the Warriors. And to be honest, if you ask some people, man, that they may say that they're not going to beat the 76ers. If they encounter the 76ers, they're not going to beat them. The Cavs, man, the thing is, bro, you got LeBron James saying, oh, yeah, well, I've been down 3-1 in the finals. Don't tell me about, being down 0-1 in the first round of playoffs. But the thing is, he had Kyrie. LeBron had Kyrie, okay? Last time I checked, man, Kyrie ain't walking through that door anytime soon. He not walking on that court anytime soon. Point blank period. You had Kyrie, man. There is nobody on the Cavs, bro, that scares you. Okay? Kevin Love, he's a good player. I feel like he gets a bad rep sometimes. Every time something goes wrong, oh yeah, let's trade Kevin Love. Let's trade Kevin Love. I feel like he gets a bad rep. I mean, George Hill, he's a good player. Rodney Hood, he's a good player. Jeff Green, he's okay. Kyle Korver, he's okay. But Kyrie literally like struck fear in people. I don't know if you necessarily have anybody on the team that strikes fear in people, man. When Kyrie has the ball, bro, it's on. Okay, there's Uncle Drew out there, man. He will put you on skates. Okay, he will put a dagger in you. Like, he will pull up from behind the arc, bro. Step back right in your face. Finger roll through the lane, through traffic, absorbing contact. Like, how did he make that turnaround shots? Like, they don't have that. They don't have that anymore. So if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm definitely worried that they're gonna beat the Pacers. They're gonna beat the Pacers. They're gonna beat them. The series may end up going 6 or 7 games, but they're gonna beat them. But me personally, I don't think the Cavs gonna get a game off. If they end up making it to the finals and they run into somebody like the Warriors, they're not getting a game off on the Warriors. Oh, hell no. They are not getting a game off on the Warriors. I promise you that. I'm willing to say this on the cheap truth right here. Nail it down. Was it April 16th, 2018? They are not going to get anything off. They're not going to get one W off against the Warriors if they come up on them, man. So I will say, man, from looking at it this weekend, looking at the first game, the Cavs got it in, bro. They definitely have that work cut out for them. It's not going to be a cakewalk to the finals like it used to be, especially if being that they have to go up against the 76ers. If the 76ers end up making it past the Heat, end up making it to the finals or whatever, it's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Thunder and the Jazz. Thunder actually looked pretty sharp against the Jazz. Paul George had 36.7 rebounds. I think Carmelo chipped in with like 15 points. I don't have Russell Westbrook's stats pulled up in front of me. But collectively, man, they look good. They look good, man. They look damn good. Now, one thing I will say, and I need for y'all to explain this to me, man. When did we start calling Paul George playoff P? I need somebody to tell me that, man. Like, when did I miss this? Playoff P? That's where we're going here? They literally call this guy playoff P. Look here, people, man. To anybody that's listening out there, man. Kids, adults, whoever. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me give y'all some more wisdom, man. Follow the KISS principle, man, whenever possible. Okay? Do you guys know what the KISS principle is? If you don't, I'm about to tell you. KISS stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid. Okay? Write that down. Keep it simple, stupid. Hey, let's look at some of the nicknames that we got floating around the league. Kevin Durant. KD, Carmelo, Melo, Kyrie. We just call him Kyrie. Of course, that's his first name, so I guess that isn't necessarily a nickname or whatever. Let's see, who else? James Harden, the Beard. Let's see, who else? What was it? What do they call Wade? Dwayne Wade, Flash. Anthony Davis, the Brow. Kawhi Leonard, the Claw. I mean, just keep it simple, man. Just keep it simple. Okay? Kevin Garnett, KG. We called him KG, man. Paul George. What was wrong with just calling him PG-13? Or what was wrong with just calling him PG? You know? What was wrong with it? What was wrong with just keeping it simple and just calling him PG? or PG-13. I like PG-13. What's wrong with PG-13? Playoff P? That's what we doing here, man? Seriously? So we got Skateboard P, we got Master P, we got Swaggy P, and we got Playoff P now. Man. It is what it is, man. Okay. Hey, that's life, right? Hey, it is what it is. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Playoff P, that's what y'all call him. Y'all call him that. I ain't calling no damn Playoff P. Y'all can keep that. I just call him Paul George. Shoot. But yeah, man, they look sharp. The Rockets look sharp. James Harden had 44 points, 8 assists. I mean, he went off. They ended up beating the Timberwolves 104-101. So I think the Rockets will make quick work of them, to be honest. So man, it's. I think that eventually, I mean, it's the first round of the playoffs, so you got to go through these things, right? I mean, you got to play the games, but eventually, the good teams will separate themselves. I mean, the Rockets are going to advance, the Warriors are going to advance, the Cavs advance, the Raptors advance. So, but yeah, man, some good games. Hopefully we get some good games going forward, but we kind of already know what's going to happen. So, let's get into this whole Dez Bryant situation, man. So Dez Bryant was released from the Cowboys, and he definitely did not like it. Can't blame him. I mean, if you were just to be abruptly released from your job, I mean, you wouldn't like it either. Just like I wouldn't like it. But I think that, man, in life, period, I've never been fired before. And hopefully I never will be. But what I've heard from people who have, or what I've heard from people who have seen other people get fired, like, that person should kind of know. Okay? Like, you should kind of know, like, your situation. Like, okay, they haven't been giving me a lot of work. They haven't been talking to me a lot. I haven't had much interaction with people. My manager kind of just looks at me different. Like, especially if you've been underperforming. Okay? It's just like with kids, right? Here's another kid analogy, right? Another kid is I mean, as a kid, if you know that you've been drawing on the walls, okay, you've been drawing on the walls, you've been messing with mom and dad stuff, you've been rearranging things, then you should not be surprised when they call your name and they call you into their room, okay? Or you shouldn't be surprised when you get a whooping. You shouldn't be surprised when you get a whooping or you get yelled at. Because you know what you've been doing. I mean, you already know. Like, yeah, I've been a bad kid. I've been a bad toddler. I've been a bad son. I've been a bad daughter. So I can't be mad if my mother or father wants to, put a belt to my behind, or if they want to yell at me. So Dez Bryant definitely shouldn't have been surprised. I'm looking at this article on NFL.com. He says, I'll say this right here. I believe that Garrett guys are to blame. I would say that, he said in response to a question from Slater on the idea that some teammates had a role in the decision to release him. Bryant wouldn't say who the Garrett guys are, but he was irked at not being selected as a team captain last season. I won't put no names out, but they know, and I want them to know I know, Bryant said. I'll shoot them a text message and let them know. So he definitely was mad about this. Man, I mean, Dez strikes me as one of those guys that's just like very prideful. I mean, all guys are. We're very prideful, right? We don't like to Well, we don't like to think that we're wrong. We don't like to admit that we're wrong. We don't like to admit that we've declined. We don't like to admit that we've lost it. We've lost a step. And Dez is one of those guys. Okay, now Dez is still only 29 years old. Like, Dez ain't old. Okay, he's not old at all. So, even though he's not old, he's still. I mean, he's had some injuries. I mean, the injuries have kind of piled up on him, so that definitely has taken away from his explosiveness and taken away from some of his ability. But he's not old at all. So, I mean, I think he probably still has something left in the tank. But he should not have been surprised by this, man. I mean, not surprised at all. You feel me? Now, I guess the Cowboys, they could have done it. They could have, released him earlier in the year instead of waiting until now. I mean, the draft is like 2 or 3 weeks away. So they could have, easily, they could have done this earlier. So I can't blame him for being mad for that if that's something that he's mad about. But it definitely shouldn't have taken him by surprise. I mean, Dez's play has declined. I mean, what's that stat? He hasn't had a 100-yard game in like a year. I mean, come on now. I mean, he was targeted 132 times last year, and he only had 69 receptions. Okay. I mean, he led the league in drops. He had 69 receptions, 838 yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, that may sound good for somebody who is like maybe the second option, maybe the third option on the team. I mean, if you're a third option on the team, you getting that production, you're pretty damn good. But to be getting paid what Dez is getting paid, that ain't gonna cut it. Okay. And then the previous year in 2016, he had 50 receptions for 796 yards. And then the year before that, he had 31 receptions for 401 yards. Now, granted, he was hurt that year. I mean, he only started 9 games, but I mean, that's another dent in the armor. That's another strike against him, basically. So, Dez, man, I mean, it's gonna be weird seeing the Cowboys without him, without seeing him in that 88 jersey. But I think the Cowboys made the right decision. They definitely made the right decision, man. Hey, don't fall in love with players, fall in like, man. That's one thing I respect about the Patriots. Even though I think they're a bunch of cheaters. They fall in like with players. They are not going to try to make a big splash. They're not going to give Albert Haynesworth a big ass contract. They're not going to bring these guys aboard, man, and pay them a whole bunch of money. They're not going to go get a wide receiver and pay them, $100 million contract. Like, they just don't do that. And they have no problem getting rid of players, man. It's business at the end of the day. So with the Cowboys, man, Dez, hey, Jerry Jones, I'm pretty sure he loves Dez to death. He loves him like a son. Helped him out. Probably still plan on helping him out. Being there for him. But at the end of the day, man, money talks, BS walks, man. I mean, you got to show up. And Dez hasn't been showing up, man. Dropping passes, fumbling the ball, not coming up in crucial moments. I mean, at the end of the day, man, that's what they pay you for. They pay you to make those big plays. They pay you to, work on your craft, man. You trying to hire a receiver coach and all this stuff, man. And, like now you trying to get serious about it. Like, it's too late now. It's too late now, man. I mean, 3 years of declining production, man. 3 years. I mean, you've had all the time in the world to get it together. And you haven't gotten it together. So now they're showing you the door. And I think the Cowboys made the right decision. I think, hey, anytime you can get those type of guys out the locker room, man, get them out your life, you're doing something well, man. I mean, I don't know Dez Bryant from a can of paint. I don't know him personally. Maybe he's a good guy, but I mean, having the personality that he has, just always having that, always knowing that something could set him off, something could tick him off. Him not getting the ball could set him off. Go on a little sideline rant or something, man. Knowing that, man, I mean that I can see how that could play into a quarterback psyche, to where they would feel like, damn, I gotta get him the ball. Damn, I gotta at least target him to at least satisfy him. Like, I can see how that could play into somebody's psyche. And not having that around anymore is probably a good thing, because now Dak can just say, you know what, screw it. I don't have to force the ball to Dez. I don't got to throw it the 50-50 balls anymore. Like, I don't got to worry about that. Like, he's going about his business. I can just get the ball to the open person. I don't have to worry about anybody complaining. I don't have to worry about anybody making any big scenes, throwing tantrums. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just get the guy, like, whoever's open, I get him the ball. Nothing to complain about. So, as far as like potential teams, I mean, Dez Bryant walked out the meeting saying that, yeah, I see you twice a year. I don't think anybody from the NFC East can sign him. I don't see the Redskins sign him. I don't see the Eagles sign him. I don't see the Giants sign him at all. So I don't know what the hell. Unless he just really knows something that nobody else knows, I don't see how that's happening. I don't think he stays in the NFC East. As far as like team fit, I mean, of course, whenever somebody gets released, or whenever a receiver leaves a team, a good receiver, any good receiver, the first team that comes to mind is the Patriots, because that's just kind of what the Patriots, that's what they do, right? They take these old wide receivers, or they take these old players, veteran players that people have just kind of cast to the side, and they'll put them on their team. So, I mean, they did it with Torrey Holt, they did it with Reggie Wayne. They did it with James Harrison last year. So, I guess the Patriots could be in play. I've seen rumors putting him on the Texans. I don't think that's gonna happen. The Saints. So as far as him, I don't know what that's gonna end up, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can see him going to somebody like the 49ers. Now, the only thing with that is, I don't know how the coaching staff would feel about Garoppolo. Having him and Garoppolo on the same team. Like, would that bother Garoppolo a little bit? Would that stunt Garoppolo's growth? I don't know. Seattle, maybe? Him and Russell Wilson, would they get along? Him and that whole team. Cleveland? No, not Cleveland. Cleveland won't work. The Jets, maybe? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know what would be the best fit for Dez Bryant. I don't know if any team is really interested in signing him for real. Well, you know what? The Ravens are. The Ravens are interested in signing, according to what I've seen on the internet. So maybe he signs with the Ravens. Maybe it's, him, Rashad Perriman, who has been a tremendous bust up until this point, and Michael Crabtree. I don't know, man. But shout out to the Cowboys, man. I think they definitely took a big step here, man, to be honest. I think they got rid of that fluff, man. And they got rid of the negative energy. And Chief Truth is out there, man. Chief Truth Nation. I'm telling y'all, man, get rid of that negative energy. Do what the Cowboys did, man. Hey, we'd love to have you, but we don't need you. That's what the Cowboys said, man. We'd love to have you, Dez, but we don't need you. So if you got something going on in your life, man, if you got a situation like that, hey, tell that person, hey, I love to have you, but I don't need you. Point blank, period. And let it go, man. Straight up. So, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Dez Bryant and the Cowboys, man. And I still think the Cowboys end up taking. I think that they'll take. Well, you know what? I can see them either taking the best defensive player or taking a wide receiver. They have Allen Hurns. They have Deontay Thompson, which I don't know how good Deontay Thompson is, but Allen Hurns is pretty good. I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's not nothing to. I mean, he's nothing to write home about or anything of that nature. But I mean, he's an NFL caliber wide receiver. I guess he's more of a complimentary player. He's definitely not like a number one player. But I mean, he can do some good things for you. Who else do they have? I mean, they got Cole Beasley. Still got Cole Beasley. Ryan Switzer, which I still don't understand that damn draft pick. I have no clue why they chose. I don't understand why they chose him. So maybe they go after somebody like Christian Kirk. Maybe they go after somebody like Cortland Sutton if he's there. Maybe they do what I think that they should do, and that's get Dak, athletic tight end, draft Hayden Hurst. Go ahead and draft him. Get you an athletic tight end. Get younger at tight end. Let Jason Witten mentor him. Okay, let him teach him how to be a pro. Let him teach him how to be a tight end. Jason Witten, hey, all-pro, Hall of Fame tight end. Let him teach Hayden Hurst about being a tight end. That's what I think they should do. But anyway, man, so that's that. And I think that's all I got for you guys today, man. So if you haven't listened to any of the previous episodes, man, you didn't catch the episode on Saturday, I dropped like a little 20-minute podcast, man, a little episode giving you guys some motivation, give you guys some wisdom about being persistent and being consistent, and what we can learn from the Andre Ingram story with the Lakers, the guy who was in the D League for like 10 years and ended up getting a contract with the Lakers the last two games of the season. So you can listen to that. Still got the mock drafts out, man. Did a freestyle mock draft where basically I just went up the head and gave you guys my opinions on the top 10 picks. Dropped that Friday. So as always, man, you know, you can always go back and listen to those episodes, man. You can even go back and listen to the first episode if you want to. The first ever episode, me and AC on that thing. But yeah, man, once again, appreciate the support, man. I know I can't say this enough. I know you guys probably tired of me saying this, man, but I thank you guys. Anybody out there, man, you listening, I don't care if it's 1, 5, 10 people, man. I appreciate it, man. You riding with the Cheat Truth, and I'm riding right along with you, man. Real talk. So appreciate it, man. Hope you guys have a good day, have a good night whenever you listen to this, and hope you enjoy it. And subscribe to the Facebook page, like the Facebook page. As always, I always leave the handles in the description. And you know, man, I seriously want you guys to leave a comment, though, man. Like, I would really like to interact with listeners of the podcast, straight up. You know, the first part, I talked about the girl in the casket. I'd like to get you guys' opinion on that, man, because I just feel like there are certain things in life you just don't play with, man. That's one of them, man. So I like to see how everybody else feels about that. But, hey, if you don't want to leave a comment or whatever, that's fine, too. I appreciate you for listening. So I will holler at you guys on Friday, man, and be blessed, and talk to you later.